Hey everyone, Happy New Year! I thought it would be great to summarize 2023. I know it would have been better to do it in December, but I didn't have time. I think it's still fine to do it now. In the first 2 years of my YouTube journey, I was doing makeovers mostly here in my rental. I was just trying things out. I definitely didn't know what I liked. Now, I would do everything differently. I'm really not about white walls and neutral color palette anymore. This is so not me, except for the painting that's above me. But I don't want to spend more money on this rental, especially because I think this is the last year we are staying here. I mean, I really hope. I did some makeovers for others as well in the first 2.5 years, but bigger makeovers were done in 2023. It was a very exciting year. I did so many huge makeovers, but it was very tiring for sure. During the first few months, I did some changes here. I organized my kitchen finally, which was great. And I also cleared out my shed and did some organization. But the real proper makeover started at the end of April when I was asked to make over a few apartments, houses for different people. By the way, I created multiple playlists of these makeovers. If you want to check them out, I will put them in the description. The first makeover I did was an apartment makeover, which was brand new. No one lived there before, the owner just purchased it. Since it was brand new, I didn't touch the bathrooms and the kitchen because they were perfectly fine. I made over the 2 bedrooms, the hallway, the living room and dining room, and the small balcony. The owner wanted a modern style since it's a brand new place with modern features. Kitchen is new, so it made sense, but I still brought in some vintage items to give character to the place. On the balcony, I created a nice oasis where the owner can relax and chill. And in the hallway, I just did a small upgrade with some decor pieces and I painted the walls with a warmer color, but it wasn't a huge change. The bigger makeovers were done in the bedrooms and the living room. In the master bedroom, he wanted a terracotta color. We picked a beautiful red brownish color from Benjamin Moore. And when I started to paint the walls, I was definitely worried because the color was really intense. Okay, I finished painting. I applied 2 coats. First, actually, I was worried a little bit because it seemed really red and a little bit lighter. It's still drying, so it still looks like a really red color, but I'm hoping that once it dried completely, it's gonna get darker and we're gonna see more brownish tones instead of red. But once I applied the second coat and it dried completely, it turned out amazing. On one wall, I used lime wash paint. It was my first time using it and I struggled a bit. It didn't turn out perfect, but I was still happy with the results. Then I brought in the bed and the decor pieces. They made the room super cozy and moody, and I think it turned out amazing, and the owner was really happy with it as well. The next room was the guest room / office, where I used a beautiful teal color on the walls. Again, we went for a moody look. I was obsessed with that color. I love the contrast between the wall color and the bed, and I used other colors and textures to make the room look cozier and more interesting. On the other side, I created the office nook with some beautiful furniture pieces, and I also did a gallery wall there, which turned out amazing. The difference is really insane. We went from a really bland room to a vibrant, colorful, moody space. The last space was the living and dining room, where I struggled with the paint application, but whatever, let's move on. We chose a nice warm neutral color. He wanted to have a lighter color on the walls since we ordered a bright orange sofa, so we wanted that to be the focus point. I paired it with a lot of modern elements, but also brought in a vintage dining table, which looked really great in the space. I was really happy with everything. The rooms looked great and the owner loved them too. It was a long process. It took like 3-4 months, but to be honest, mostly because we had to wait a long time for furniture pieces to arrive. While I was making over this apartment, I was asked to make over another one for a lovely couple. It's a lot bigger space, so I'm not even done with it. There are still a few rooms to do. I started with the master bedroom makeover, and I have to say this makeover is one of my favorites. It was a very long process. I had to remove the lining paper, which took a while, sand down the walls, prime them, and I also did wall paneling on one wall and then painted the walls and the ceiling. We went for a dark color that was so gorgeous. It already made a huge difference. I rearranged the furniture, which was not easy, and added the decor items. The difference was so big, the owners are obsessed with the room. It's really just night and day. The next space was the office, which needed some love. We went for 2 colors, and I also did picture frame molding, which just looked incredible, especially with those 2 colors. I kept most of the furniture, they were still fine, and created a reading nook. I love this makeover too. It was a perfect example of how a simple coat of paint and some wall paneling can make a huge difference without breaking the bank. I continue with the guest room makeover, which is eventually going to be the baby's room, but for a while the crib is staying in the master bedroom. So I had to make sure that the color we pick for the walls is going to be suitable for the guest room and the baby boy's room, because obviously they don't want to repaint the room in a year. We decided on a gorgeous light blue color, and I kept the decor minimal since there's no point investing into items that won't be necessary in the future. And the last space that I made over was the stairway area, which wasn't a huge makeover. It was mostly painting, but I just wanted to show you again that paint can do wonders. They will probably hang family pictures on the wall, so I kept them blank. I will continue working on the remaining rooms in the apartment throughout the year, but let's shift our focus to another major project that I started to work on last year. It was a house makeover, which is almost done. There's still a kitchen that needs to be made over, and you will see that makeover soon, I hope. It will be a 3-part series because it will be a huge makeover. So the owner wanted an eclectic cottage style, lots of colors, so that's what I did in the rooms. I started with the living room, where I combined neutral walls with colorful furniture pieces. On one side, I added shelves and cabinets for storage, and she already had a few vintage items that we kept. I also reupholstered an armchair that she had and wanted to keep, and I brought in a lot of plants. It was a big makeover, and the transformation was remarkable. The next space was the dining room, which was a challenge because it's a small space. I wanted to use a lot of colors and make it a fun space. I used bold colors. We got a custom banquet for the space, which complemented the wall colors. I also used a vintage sideboard, which I painted so it matched the color palette better. And finally, I chose beautiful lights for the space, which made the room extra special. I love the end result. It's crazy what you can achieve with colors and decor pieces. The next space was the hallway, which was super blank, white walls again, which we didn't want to keep. I wanted to use this yellow color for so long. It turned out really great. The owner didn't want a proper shoe cabinet, only a console table. I also put up a mirror and placed a nice table lamp on the table. On the other side, I put up a gorgeous full-length mirror, and I also created a gallery wall on the other wall. The space feels now much warmer and cozier, offering a more welcoming ambiance. The next space was the garden, which was a huge makeover and took so long. I started to work on it during the summer, but since we had to get rid of a lot of rubbish and replace the fence, I was able to finish it only in October. Fortunately, the weather was still nice, so it worked out well. Since we use a lot of vibrant colors inside the house, I wanted to bring the same energy to the outside. I painted the fence a beautiful aubergine color, which made a significant difference. It was my first time painting the exterior of a house, but since it's not a large house, it wasn't too challenging. To balance out the intense color of the fence, I opted for a neutral, creamy off-white color called Baby Fawn by Benjamin Moore for the exterior walls. I paired it with a lovely green color. I did some planting, added a storage box for garden tools, and even refurbished a vintage dining set, which turned out great. We also ordered a new outdoor seating set, added some decorative pieces, and the final result was amazing. The transformation was truly remarkable. Then I continue with the bathroom makeover. She wants to do a full bathroom renovation, but she wants to save up money for that, so I just did an upgrade by adding decor pieces and painting the walls. I know the color choice was risky, but I think it turned out great. The space looks cozy and warm, a big improvement from before. The last space I worked on, which was the final makeover of the year, was the bedroom. She loves dark colors too, but she wanted to have a lighter color palette in the room, so I picked a light green color that went well with the bed, which we kept since she bought it only like 2 years ago and she still likes it. The new paint color made the room already so much nicer. I moved the bed to the other wall where it looks better, I think, and we also got a new wardrobe for the space. I decided to do something interesting on the wall opposite the bed. There's not much space to walk in front of the bed, so I couldn't really put up shelves or other decor pieces on that wall, so I just decided to install peel and stick wallpaper that I got from Etsy, and I also framed it with some wood trims to make it look like a huge wall art. It looked so good and it's definitely a statement piece. I also installed 2 beautiful wall sconces. I used some rechargeable light bulbs and they made the room look so cozy and moody. So these were the makeovers that I did in 2023. Wow, it was a lot. But I'm really proud of them. I learned and experimented a lot. I really hope 2024 will be even more eventful and I will be able to do more videos and better makeovers. But I definitely can tell that my body isn't really happy at the moment. But hopefully I will manage to continue and create more beautiful spaces. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you won't miss any of my videos. Like I said, I created multiple playlists for you, so if you haven't seen these makeovers, go check them out. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.